What's up, everybody? Oh wow, it's really loud microphone. Overdriven here. A little Doge-wave. Let's keep the Doge-wave going in the background just for a little bit while we get rolling here. Let's see, was that Simon? No, we'll do the my 80s. Let's do wireless. Let's do wireless. Let's let wireless roll here. Kind of a chill. We'll work our way up. What's going on? Yeah, I was not expecting to go live. Just Bitcoin is making a little bit of a move here, so I'm watching it. Thought I'd hop on here and see. It's gonna be short if we don't break. Turn the music down. If we don't break 61, that microphone's probably really loud, guys. I'm sorry about that. If we don't break 61,174 here pretty soon, might be kind of a short session. But I haven't been on in a bit. I was totally inundated last week. I had family come visit this weekend. My son's grandparents came to finally see him for the first time in a year because of all the stuff going on. So I was busy getting ready for that and having them over, so I spent some time off. But kept an eye on the charts. And hopefully, let's see here. How do I download this? Move big. There you go. That's better. Alright, let's see if it's actually happening or not. Getting close. That's looking pretty good though. Notice this. See this trend line I have right here? I'm going to switch it colors for you guys. Look at those touches on that. And I haven't touched that trend line since, like, I put that trend line here, I don't even know. I think well before. I think this touch right here is where I moved that trend line to. Seriously, on the 4th of April. I haven't touched it since then. Just ladder them up. Sorry, what's going on, everybody? CTM party. Did I spell everything right? I just quickly threw this together here. Well, let's do some analysis while we're at it here. I'll show you guys my chart. I said I've been keeping an eye on it. I haven't been super active. I did, I'll show you my last 2 entries. I'm just going to share that with you guys. I did take, so I think I told everybody before this little breakout here, I was thinking like 60%. I don't think I took that because we're coming into resistance right there. But, why is it so huge, so thick? I took this entry right here, come back into that area, and then come back off of that. Somewhere, one of those entries there. Might have been this, it's probably. So I take on the opening price of the body of the, so basically I take when we retake the body of my retest candles. I took another entry right there. I've taken 2 more small entries, so I'm now 80%, roughly, of what I want to be for the full breakout. So I'm kind of waiting for a 61,174. Let me tell you where I get that number from. 61,174, and it may not be exactly. I mean, I could probably get it a little bit more accurate if I really zoom in here. Was what looks to me like the closing and opening price of these daily candles over here back on March 12th and 13th and 14th. So that's why I have that number. Now it might be a few dollars off. You know, I don't know. Let me adjust it just slightly here. Maybe it's 61,222 is this the very top of this bearish candle. Maybe a little bit more accurate. So that's the number we were looking for to break out, I think. We've touched it almost exactly, that daily candle, and retreated from it, but back to our trend line. But let's do this. Let's do this real fast. Guest. I've been saying this. This is why I personally, now of course we could have a fake out sell-off. I personally don't think we're gonna see. Sorry, 1 second. Just my microphone. I don't think we're gonna see a very large sell-off anytime soon. It might be an overnight shakeout where somebody, you know, big dumps and blows out a bunch of stop losses and leverage positions and stuff like that. But let's see here. View exchange. I've just been watching the order book the last 2 weeks, And let's see if I can get over here. Get this. There we go. Far right. There you go. Just watching the order flow in general, and it's more than just this data. This is the easiest way to show it quickly while I'm live. But yeah, you watch, just looking at the tape and just looking at a couple of different exchanges. I've been kind of keeping an eye on Kraken, KuCoin, Binance, and Coinbase. Just kind of look at their tape, and it's like 80% buying. Seriously, it's like it's so insane on the buy side. Now there's some sites that you can go look at the on-chain metrics and get a good idea of the cumulative buying, but yeah, it's quite a bit. Let's look at the comments here now. But yeah, it's been so very. Well, did we get a spike there? Hold on, take a look at this. The Coinbase feed shows a spike here just a few minutes ago, almost to 61. I've been looking at the level 2 data, depth chart, so I can get zoomed out here a little bit. I was wanting to take a closer look at this. So that 60K wall has vanished, right? It keeps sliding up, but it's kind of, we're sliding to the buy side now. That's the other thing too, is you look at these, just the market participants who are willing to advertise their affinity. This is way too far zoomed out. Let's get zoomed in. But it's slightly slanted to the buy side, or it was before we made this little move here. In the high 50s, it definitely was. Now that the more you slide up, the more this, that side's gonna become pronounced. All right. I had some requests. B&B, I think. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, hey, I got my rum. 1 second. Y'all gotta hold on. I'm gonna grab my rum. I haven't had this little. Let's do a little half pour nightcap here. Do my late night crypto and rum. All right. First request I saw was B&B. B&B has been on fire. I don't have any B&B. I haven't had any for this big run. Now I had some long before this run happened, but again, for the millionth time, I got out of Binance because they were kicking people off of people in the US. They were kicking off of Binance. So way before all this breakout, I had to sell my B&B when I got off of Binance. And the exchanges I was using initially, I don't know that I could have got back. Anyway, I didn't. I've never bought B&B. So this is beautiful, though. All of you, congrats who are in B&B. This is B&B to Bitcoin, which is, that's a beautiful, beautiful looking chart. I mean, you see this consolidation we had. I had it marked on here. We talked about this. This is just a beautiful textbook breakout, and you could have rode this thing to the moon. It's more like Mars. I'm not going to offer too many opinions on this, just because I was not in it, and therefore I was wrong about it. My opinion is that this is going to underperform for the rest of the cycle. Now, I've been proven, kind of like Uniswap early on, I've been proven kind of wrong. Let's go look at what Uniswap's doing here real fast. I've been proven fairly wrong on that by this big move here, but it could still underperform in the grand scheme of things. But at this point, hitting $640, I think I'm probably just flat wrong about that. So let's go look at. Now, the other reason, so there's two reasons why it pumped, right? This initial pump here, this little bit here was some news about some projects coming on the Binance Smart Chain. And this consolidation, I think this was Pancake Swap. This big burst out of this consolidation pattern we had here was the announcement of Pancake Swap and some stuff with that, a liquidity on that. And this, I think, has been more related to the Coinbase IPO. And obviously, KuCoin, BNB, all the exchange tokens are doing extremely well because of the all the hype around the Coinbase IPO. So these are, considered alternative plays to buying into the Coinbase IPO. What's interesting to me is that it just lags. It just exploded so much. So yeah, I'm not going to offer a lot of opinion other than at this point you should take, like, if it was me, I would have taken profit somewhere up here, right? Let's see how big this move was out of this from the point of consolidation from, like, more or less. Yeah, you had a 117% move. Absolutely. I mean, I would have taken profit. What I wait for when I'm watching these things, this is the 4 hour. I try to find some kind of like parabolic trend line. And I generally wait for a break of that to go, you know, to really sell out entirely. But I would have probably at least pulled my initial off, been safe, and be on house money, right? That's where I'd be at right now. And if you're, you know, if this was a trade, you just basically take shave some profit and set your stop loss. So what I would do is I'd draw this you know, very parabolic trend line here. And I'd be watching for it to break back to this on the downside. And until then, I'd leave what I had on, probably. But you can see here, obviously, you know, you're looking like you're going to want to do another one of these. Like this was this impulse move, right? And then you're going to consolidate. So my guess is, based on this consolidation pattern that I see, my guess is that you have almost, if I just clone this, I'm just going to take these two lines. I'm going to clone them. And, hold on. I bet you have something that looks about like that, right? You take that and clone that whole structure, you very well might have like another setup that looks a lot like what you just had. And so it comes in, you see here, this comes in right about there, right? So I'll move that over. Top of that other consolidation, right below that other consolidation, something like that, maybe more like this. But you're going to have some more consolidation probably here. And a good way to get out, so if I would have drawn the same horizontal like trend line, or a very vertical trend line, right? It would have been a little bit late getting out here. And this is why you take profits on these big moves. But you could have seen here when you broke below this and came back into it, probably a good place to take your profit right there as you came back up that bounce. That'll get you pretty close to the top. So you take some out as much as, you know, take a little bit out on these big moves on the way up. And then as it bounces back into that parabolic trend line. And then wait for the next entry. But honestly, you know, that's the good thing about, like, the really good thing on trades especially, this music's a little bit loud, hold on, turn it down just a little bit. The good thing on trades about taking this off, so you would have taken something off right around here, right, and you'd be getting back in over here. Well, the good thing is you're not paying, so that's from February all the way to, you know, the end of March before you got back in the trade. You're not paying interest on your margin that you're holding this trade the whole time. That's really why it's really good to be in and out on trades. But yeah, I mean, if you're holding it and you're a bag holder of this, I mean, I would take at least take your initial off the table and then just let the rest ride and see what happens. But most likely, again, it's going to consolidate in something that looks about like that. All right, back to comments. What do we got here for the Bitcoins? It's still just kind of, I've got a feeling this could do absolutely anything. It could literally just come right into here and bounce back to here and be super boring and do one more, you know, tomorrow sometime breakout. Asia, come on, get with the program. Or it could break down and be like a false breakdown and then break out, you know. I think the bottom for the next fake out would be a wick not too far below this trend line here. So the worst case scenario is if we get rejected here one more time and we get this horrible sell-off that liquidates a bunch of people, probably 57,000, you're going to get a bounce. And then if you get confirmation that you're going back down, you know, you break both these trend lines, all kinds of, right around here is when you want to lighten up, I'd say. But that's not what was happening right now. It's definitely strong. I'm just putting out the downside. Why did the music stop? Music. Oh, it got quiet. All right. I don't know why I decided to look at that, but you know, I'm always looking at my downside too. I'm always looking at where do I put my stop. I'm constantly managing. My stop loss is still 52,995, I think, over here. I need to probably move after just doing that little mental exercise. I need to move my stop loss to somewhere well below these wicks here. 54 maybe, something 53,995, something like that. Give it some space. Because you got support here, 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 and, you know, right through here. So all that support would have to be taken out before I got stopped out. And if all that support gets taken out, we sell up to 54,000. What's going to happen is this is going to be resistance, and we're going to consolidate. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going the other direction. All right, look at comments. Uni had a nice day. Yep. What's up? Thanks for the likes. Hey, Gene. Let's see who's all here. Say hi to everybody. Let's see. Carl, hi. 4 a.m. Yep. Carl, you're a trooper, man. Mario says he's not going to bed now. All right, Mario. So I hope the B&B was a good look for you there. I love Aave. I actually don't have any right now, which is really kind of stupid. It's just been consolidating, and you know what? Thank you for pointing out this chart to me, because I've been wanting to watch this. I've really been wanting to get back into Aave. I love this setup right here, man. This is beautiful. I mean, mainly, you see what's happening right now. You got a little bit of a, I don't know, I have to do some work on this chart. I haven't done much work looking at it here too much, but you had some serious consolidation here, and it's probably not the most valid thing to be looking for. Really, at this point, with all this sideways action, we're just looking at. Personally, I'm looking at what horizontal level do I need to break to get interested. And this is versus Bitcoin. So this is if I was gonna, just buy spot, sell, buy Aave with Bitcoin. I'd be looking for a break at this level right here. That level is, so that would be 70,000 Satoshis, I guess, 7042 on the chart. Spot 007042, as Heath would say. So basically somewhere right around there, maybe 72, probably a bit better number. Break that level, get confirmation, and I might be interested in trying to ride the upside on this one. Let's look at Aave. I mean, I love it's a great, it's not really a protocol or a project, it's more like a ecosystem, right? Blending ecosystem. Liquidity. So you've got some sort of trend line going on here. I have to play with that a little bit. Kind of like that look there, maybe. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked at the USD chart much. Now for a trade, this is looking pretty good. This is looking really good. I might have to go work on putting a trade on after we get off of here. So this is great. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, yeah, this is a great look. Thanks for bringing this one up. And I love Aave, great project. So on a 4-hour chart, you have a CTM entry, breakout, retest, resumption of this level. The main thing, the other thing too, given where we're at in alt season, you got a good horizontal level in here that you can work off of. I really want to watch this horizontal right here. If I go to the daily, I bet you there's a good, yeah, right there. Perfect. You see that when we wicked right up into, this is going to be pretty strong resistance right here. This daily close and open there where the bears took control. It's a Heath level. 420 is that number. So 420 would be a really good number to wait until you get to the north side of that, and then get your place a CTM entry on that one. I'm going to set an alert on this myself. Where is Aave? Let's move this up. I'm going to go set an alert on this myself. It looks really good. I'm just going to say just north of this. Alright, so I got me a little alert, crossing one time, all the little things, and where's my, I have to pull this down, sorry guys. I just created an alert for myself right there. So if we get above that 420.84 roughly resistance, I want to be notified, be looking for a CTM entry. Now I'll be looking for a CTM entry on a 12-hour. This, I would consider taking a 4-hour entry on, just because this is a strong breakout potential. So yeah, this might be a candidate to watch the 4-hour, because this is going to move pretty quick when it breaks out. All right, I like it though. Thanks for bringing that one up. I'm gonna flag that as something I need to follow up on. Make it red. I got too many colors on here. There you go. I was watching Zill too. It started to try to break out, but it's. Oh, all right. Aave, yeah, it looks beautiful. Aave looks good. Ada, of course, is my pet project. But yeah, Ada looks great. I mean, I've had this prime trend line here for a while, and I cloned it down here. The main thing is these trend lines are less impactful to me right now just because we're consolidating so sideways here. And all this consolidation is obviously beautiful. Music's getting kind of loud again. I don't have it on this chart. I might have it on another chart, but yeah, right here is just what you're looking at, right? And you see this beautiful breakout retest resumption coming off of here right now. As a daily level, where did it go? This is the main level I was watching to get a trade on. Now I have trades on ADA, so I do have open trades on ADA. I would like to look to add right here. See this 12-hour? It was already an entry. This is great. It's going to give us some more consolidation, another entry, because I missed that already. I had trades on way back here. Somewhere. So I've been holding sideways for a little bit on this trade. But I did kind of a bottom fishing trade where I picked up that we were just sitting on. So I picked up one of these coming off this support. I think on the third retest of this support on the 12-hour, and when I got the third confirmation, I went ahead and just took it. I've been holding that, but I need to add to it. Anyway, looks good. ADA's probably going to break out big here with the Alonzo hard fork. I mean, it's going to go bananas soon. Yeah, so we'll see. ADA BTC was looking super interesting. Yeah, here's the one. This is the trade I'm really waiting for. I'm really excited to take this trade. You see this horizontal level right here? If I go to the daily, let me adjust that. That needs to come up a little bit. Yeah, I knew that earlier. I was looking at that. All right. So 21.45 is the level I have, but yeah, we're coming in to test, you know, that level. We're a little bit below it now, but I was waiting for a break of this, and it's really this horizontal level in this last daily. Get a resumption off of that. You know, we've had a couple of potential tries at this, but we've been sitting this support right here. This 2000 support has been, you know, 1, 2, 3, and we've come off that 3 times now. So we're really looking at finally making some traction versus Bitcoin. This is my take profit target up here. So at the end of the trade right here on this 12-hour. Actually, I might have already had an entry that I missed, which is a good thing I didn't quite get into it just yet. A Bitcoin 61. Oh, come on, Bitcoin breakthrough 61. 222 is what I'm now watching. The adjustment I made earlier. Just happened to see that corner of my eye. All right, but yeah, so ADA USD looking good. I have got 2 trades on that. I feel good about that. Of course, I still have, it's my second largest crypto holding behind Bitcoin. And then ADA BTC, I'm really waiting for this one to line up and then take a. I haven't entered a trade on this at all in a long time since way back over here. This breakout over here, I rode this up quite a bit, but I've been completely out on all this action over here. So finally waiting to get back in here. Now I'm going to be kind of cautious with this. I'm going to tell you guys too, because if Bitcoin is, you know, breaks out big, these alts are going to bleed versus it. I'm not too worried about ADA because just, again, Alonzo. I'm not worried about Ethereum, actually, too. Look at the ETH BTC chart. I'm not worried about Ethereum. I think he's consolidating beautifully here. I think Ethereum will keep up with Bitcoin. It may quickly wake down a little bit, you know, but it'll hold this support most likely. But you've got really good support here at these trend lines. So I'm also looking at ETH for BTC for a trade. I had a trade on here coming off. This is kind of bottom fishing stuff here. I had a trade coming off here. I took profit too soon. It went way higher than I thought it was initially, but now it's consolidating beautifully. So we'll see if it breaks up or down. I'm a little bit more concerned about some of the other ones. I'm not, like, DOT's coming into a really good level of support as well. Litecoin, I was thinking about shorting it. I'm thinking about going short Litecoin versus Bitcoin here for this next impulse up. You see it came into the top of this. So I took a trade long Litecoin USD. Again, when Litecoin comes in the bottom of this channel, I've been taking longs on the USD, and I took profit coming into here a little bit too early. But it's popped all the way up into here, so now I'm looking at going short Litecoin Bitcoin. Now that we've come up into this, and we're looking to resume off of this. It's a 12-hour. It's a beautiful. So breakdown, retest, and now we're resuming down right now potentially. So that's a level for me to look at to go short LTC BTC right there. So I'm gonna put another alert on my chart right now because I've been waiting for this setup to build. Actually, I'm gonna just make it right there. All right. So I just created an alert there. Sorry guys, I need to move this panel up so you can see the bottom here. But yeah, so I just created an alert to go short Litecoin Bitcoin when we take out the body of this wick right here, this test wick of that resistance. All right. Oh, thanks Matthew. Found a $3 Visa gift card. Appreciate that. Yeah, so those are the plays I'm gonna watch, and let's mark all these as blue. Things I need to keep an eye on here. Let's get rid of this one. Zill is getting kind of boring. I mean, I like Zill. I've been wanting to play it, but it's so all over the place. I just don't have a good read on it. I really don't. That's my problem. If I don't have a good read on something, I stay away. All right, Litecoin Bitcoin, Litecoin USD. Long, so there's another long here. There's a bunch of setups. My goodness, there's setups everywhere. So coming off this support right here, coming back up. So you can go, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, you can go long Litecoin USD and short Litecoin BTC at the same time. And it'll probably work out for you. It'll be a decent hedge, right? So if Litecoin BTC tanks hard, that's because Bitcoin's probably popping hard. But if Bitcoin were to sell off, that'd be pretty rough to have those two trades on, because you could lose both of them, but you could also win both of them. I would probably rather do one or the other. So at this point, I think I'd probably, let's take a look at I was thinking about that earlier. Which way would I rather go with it? Yeah, this resistance coming in here at 304. I would rather take the Litecoin Bitcoin trade short than the Litecoin USD trade long, if you were to pick one myself, because I think Bitcoin's, again, going to move pretty big here. And this feels a little bit safer given the trajectory of this. But ETH BTC, and these are kind of dicey to me. Like, the only one I feel good about going long versus BTC is Cardano because of Alonzo, the Alonzo hard fork. Even DOT, I don't know, hadn't consolidated quite enough up here for me to be comfortable with it. I would take a small entry on a setup, but. All right, back to comments. What have we got here? Questions? I'm just all over the place, talking about whatever I want to talk about. Yeah. What's the trend? How to determine the beginning of a trend? What is a trend? Hey, Danny. So a trend is. Let's just go to a clean chart. This is my rocket chart. Let's just clear this up. All right. So, I mean, you can think of Jordan's from Conquer Trading and Investing. If you guys aren't following him, definitely follow his channel. It's one of my recommended channels. But, he said it as simply as this way. Ask a 5-year-old, which way is this going, up or down, right? But so it depends on your time frame too, because you can have people can have very different opinions about what the trend is based on the time frame. But like to me, to establish a trend, I look at the daily. The daily is just a reasonable, it's not too terribly long term. It's a good indicator. So you look at a daily chart and you just kind of get which direction is the instrument moving, right? If you look at the left and it's a lot lower than the price on the right, then it's going up. So Bitcoin is obviously, that's a clear uptrend. Now if we go look at ETH BTC, this is a lot tougher because it's pretty much sideways, right? So it's, since 2018, it's actually been pretty much just sideways. But sideways markets presents opportunity as long as they move around a lot. So that's where we have to zoom in a little bit. So you zoom out too much and it's like, okay, it's just sideways. So we got to zoom in a little bit here. You see I had these uptrend lines. So I think since it bottomed out here in 2019, 2020, late 2019, early 2020, it's been in a bit of an uptrend with a lot of, false breakdowns and false breakouts and all kinds of stuff. Makes it this is almost like a Forex instrument, right? Because Forex kind of is perpetually sideways. So this is almost like trading Forex. Now I would say the current trend is completely sideways. So it makes it tough. But again, if I look at it from this time frame, we're in a little bit of an uptrend, right? And these false breakouts, this false breakdown make this kind of difficult. That's why I'm not super confident in this, this right here. But this is why you just play which direction it breaks. If it breaks down, you could look to short it. I won't short Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I like it. You know, Ethereum to me is too strong of an instrument because it could just reverse real fast. Obviously, you see these false breakdowns. But if you're just technically trading, this is a consolidation pattern. It can break either way. The odds are it's going to break up, given that we are in an uptrend in this kind of intermediate time frame. Again, the odds are it's going to break up. It could break down. Now, Litecoin, Bitcoin, this is a clear downtrend. This is an easy one, right? So you go zoom out on the daily and you ask a 5-year-old, which way is this going? So if I start a line from over here and I come down to where we are, which way is that going? Well, it's going down. It's a downtrend. That's a really bad downtrend. Now, it could be a humongous consolidation pattern too, so we have to be a little bit careful. But for the most part, we consider this a downtrend, and we sell into resistance. And if you're wrong, that's why you have stop losses. That's why you have risk management. But yeah, for me, this is a definite downtrend. So it's a long-term downtrend, and then in the intermediate here, short-term, it's a downtrend, right? So I see these peaks here. So we have lower highs. That's what really makes a downtrend, right? This, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, and then you have some mostly lower lows. Now you picked up here a little bit, and then now you're back to lower lows, right? Ultimately, at a more of a macro view, you know, this was your kind of lows over here, lows here, lows here, lows here, right? So it's lower highs and lower lows. It's moving downtrend. So in a downtrend, you look to sell resistance, sell into as it comes into resistance. So it's got a good pop off of the bottom here, back up to the top of our channel, and it's been a pretty good trading range and channel to play in. So now I'm looking to go short if we take out that. So I hope that answered your question. 61K, we're working on it. We are working on it. So I don't know if y'all saw on Twitter. This is what I posted on Twitter. I was being kind of... Let's just highlight my Twitter post here. Because I love this movie. Alright, so yeah. Gone in 60 seconds, Nicolas Cage. Let's ride. And then Jordan's posting 61,000 up here 12 minutes ago. Alright, back to the chart. 61K. Oh, Jordan's on the Twitter. 61,118. Yeah, it's pretty close. Somewhere in that range. It's definitely on. Yeah, break these two, maybe these two wicks right here. Yeah. Let's go back to the... hold on, I gotta kill some crypto mining I got going on this PC. Kill this. Hold on, sorry guys. It's messing up my... Stop it. Oh, that's a 5-minute candle. Alright, a little wick down there. Where's our depth chart? This doesn't really matter right now. You got a big old wall here at 62K. It's kind of a weak wall, honestly. It's not. It's just cosmetic. That's mostly a cosmetic wall, I'd say. Where is? Did we wick up to 62K ever? No, that's gonna be a weak wall. Too many. There's gonna be too many. When you get above this level, there's gonna be so many stop losses that get triggered. It's gonna smash that wall to bits. Short covering's gonna take that thing. Adam, we'll look at it. Let's look at it. I've been waiting forever. I haven't taken a trade on Adam in so long. I don't have it in my hodl bag. I mean, it's a decent project. Obviously, I think, you know, I've been kind of vocal on I'm not too terribly excited about it. I think the graph and Polkadot are really putting the screws to the market potential of Cosmos, but we'll just see. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you've been consolidating down here for a bit. I don't see... this is, you know, back to the trend. This is a little bit of a downtrend, right? So you had a high, a low, a lower low put in here. And you're putting in lower highs. So, this is versus Bitcoin now, of course. So So it's weak versus Bitcoin. So if you're going to look to buy spot, this is not a good one to be in spot. You might as well just be in Bitcoin rather than holding Cosmos this time. All right, let's look at Atom USD. Now, again, I have all these up as Bitcoin charts because a lot of these I'm just considering buying on spot. Spot. I'm not necessarily looking to trade them with leverage or anything, but yeah, this kind of see there's a couple of touches of some consolidation we got going on here. Clearly, obviously, I started to work on this chart at some point, somewhere along the way. The USD chart, Coinbase chart, false breakout. Looks like we're coming back into resistance there. This is all daily charts. Yeah, so you got a couple of resistance levels here. Now, you took this out. And so it's not as viable, and it's now a little bit of support. So you took that out, that horizontal, which is probably more important than this trend line I drew in, because it's going to be very subjective. But I'm going to leave it there because I see that touch there, and I like that. We just came into it there. So I would say at this point on Cosmos, what you're looking for is to break this downtrend that you have here to get a retest and resumption off of that. Let's look at the 12-hour. And see if you would have stuck. So here's an example of where trading the 4-hour would have given you a false signal. You would have had a theory, had a signal right there, and it would have immediately gone against you. But if you would have stuck to the 8-hour, yeah, you might have. Yeah, you also would have got a bit of a signal potentially if you were, depending on how that played out. But yeah, right there it might have been a signal for you to go along, and then it went right against you. But the 12-hour would have kept you out of that. 12-hour would have kept you out of that, and you never would have been in a losing trade. This is why I prefer trading the 12-hour. Well, I mean, that's fairly common that the 12-hour keeps you out of trouble, whereas the 4 and the 8 will be a false signal. You get a lot less false signals with the 12-hour. All right. Price prediction for the end of 2021. Creed 0. Are you asking about Bitcoin? That's a really, I'm going to assume you're asking about Bitcoin. If you're asking about Bitcoin, it's really tough because I think we're already going to be on the downside. So, let me show you my price kind of target for the upper end here. So if we go to my log chart, my long-term log chart, I got to go 3 days so I can see this all on one screen. Here's all the stuff that I've done on the Brave New Coin Liquid Index, BLX. Chart. How do I illustrate my price target on this? I don't remember exactly how I showed that before. I got the date, right? So here's the date that I have picked out for the if the symmetry we've had in the length of the last cycles. This is measuring from both the length from cycle low to cycle high, irrespective of halving. And this is also measuring the length from the cycle low to the halving to the cycle high, and looking at a couple of different things. And there's a lot of symmetry. So if you ignore the halving entirely, the cycle low to the cycle high, the cycle low to the cycle high, there's a lot of symmetry right around the halving, obviously. So the halving is obviously a critical event, first of all. Second of all, it gives you a lot of information about timing. And for this, the date that I've worked out is September 25th, it looks like on here, roughly. So late September for the peak of the market. Now, of course, I don't know if that's going to be accurate to the day, but I think within, several weeks, it's probably going to be a pretty close barometer. And so if we do peak out at the end of September, early October, mid-September, whatever it may be, we're going to be in the bear market. I think we're going to peak out. I think 288,000 is a good, for me, I'll be probably 50% out or so as we approach those levels. I'm going to try my very best to be patient and wait for, I don't know, just possibly for us to sell off and then that bounce. But I'm going to try my best, because if we go to like 400,000 or 500,000 or something crazy, I'm going to try my best to have at least some on for that big move. But my targets between 140 and 288,000, I'm planning to slowly scale out. Take my initial investment off at 140, which would be just a small piece at that point, and then 288K, I'll be starting to really scale out above that, but I'm gonna try to keep some on. So, you know, I think we could go as high as say 500,000. I think 140 safe. 140,000 is kind of a safe target, and 288,000, which is actually, it's funny because it's stock to flows. As Plan B's stock to flow at his newer model, that's his price target, and I've come up with that same price target about 3 different ways. And it's really, my way of doing it was measuring cycle low to cycle high and looking at how big the moves were, and then basically dividing that by some time information, and then reducing and giving it a reduction in gains, because I do think diminishing returns are probably, you know, it's safe to, you know, whether that ends up being, whether we end up having diminishing returns or not, I don't really care. I'm projecting diminishing returns just so that I'm, you know, being on this, going to err on the side of caution there. But, so I keep coming up with 288,000 right around there, a bunch of different ways. So, you know, my prediction would be roughly 288,000 September 25th. And then we'll be in a sell-off after that. So, you know, by the end of 2021, we might be down as far as $80,000. I don't know, probably 80,000, something like that. Maybe 120. I don't. This depends. If we go all the way to 500, we'll still be well above $100,000 by then. Bitcoin breaking out again. Oh no, it came back down to earth. So I was obviously doing some, see this off a vlog. Yeah, I was doing some measuring here for you guys. The last, yeah, let's go back over here. I was measuring all the drawdowns and stuff, and how fast the recoveries were and all that over here. I don't know if that's really interesting to anybody. So I hope that answered your question, Creed. I don't know if that was your question exactly, but Link, let's look at Link. One of my favorite projects. I wish that green candle was our actual candle we had for the day. Let's see here. I've got a pretty big, well, relatively speaking, Link hodl bag, but it's been underperforming. Let me get rid of this trend line. We don't need these anymore. All right. This is Link USD. I do have a trade on. I have trades on from down here, right? So I was looking at this trend line right here. When we got some resumption off of here, I took a trade, and then I don't know all my trade entries exactly. Anyway, I've got trades on Link right now that are really heavily in profit, because we had a real big nice move right after I put those on, up into 30, you know, 35 resistance or so. Yeah, looking good. The all-time high, what, is $37? Is that true? $37 is the all-time high. So yeah, we're consolidating well underneath here. Let's see what we got. Connect these 2 points here. You know, I don't have a lot of actionable intel for you right now. It's the daily chart, 12-hour chart. Your last entry would have been this green line right here is a pretty important one. I think I had a daily. Yeah, see this daily level right here? And then you see the daily levels right there. So the closing price on the 17th of March, the opening price on the 18th of March was the main resistance because of the sell-off. And we broke through that, came back below it, found resistance at it, found support at it, and now we've kind of confirmed this support in the short term here. On the 7th and the 8th, we sold off to it, closed right at it, opened right at it, and came back to it and bounced off of it. So that's kind of confirmed as support now, and this would have been your 12-hour entry right there somewhere. It's kind of a big wick given that resistance is right up here. So a lot of times what will happen is this will continue to go sideways, and you'll see it bounce back in here one more time, and you'll get like a tighter wick and probably a better entry. But that would have been an entry. You're actually you're finding support on that same, that's a daily level. That's actually a daily entry. Wow, let me go to the 12-hour, sorry. I thought I was on the 12-hour. We've got a bunch of entries. All right, yeah, it's the same basic patterns. This is the really good, this is a good solid test wick right here on the 10th. And that would have been your entry above that. You're now finding support roughly on top of where that entry was. I still would not be surprised if we still ping-ponged around before it went. But if Bitcoin breaks out, you know, obviously this is going to pull it up. Yeah, so Bitcoin looks to me like we may have another day of consolidation. That's what I'm seeing, thinking, feeling with this little bit of move, but it can rip at any moment, obviously. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. think I'm seeing that we're going to kind of fall short of this, and I'm getting the feeling now that this is going to do something like this. But it could very well break out. I don't know. I kind of got the feeling that we're headed for another. You see this low wick right here? Liquidated a lot of longs. Something looked just like that, but coming into this level would be a pretty symmetric move overnight to happen tonight. That's my thoughts on Bitcoin right now. All right, back to quick question. Why would you short BTC and long ADA? Is BTC ready to pump? Why would I short? I wouldn't short BTC. I don't know. Did I give somebody the impression I was shorting Bitcoin? No, I would never. No. Link. Gotta say, by the way, about BNB, I think the huge moves are due to the ETH gas. Can't use Uni as a result. Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot. So Binance Smart Chain is slightly better than Ethereum for like transactions, but it's actually it's a neutered version of Ethereum. That's what Binance Smart Chain is. It's really a neutered version of Ethereum with a shorter block time, a few other optimizations to make it a little bit faster for transactions, but it's still a centralized, quote unquote, decentralized. It's a centralized blockchain. It's got delegated proof of stake, and it's run by a central authority. So it's really, to me, not a candidate. The Binance Smart Chain is not a candidate for like a long-term viable project outside of, you know, its the exchange ecosystem of Binance. And the other thing about Binance, BNB, I mean, obviously you get exposure to Binance. That's the Coinbase IPO is driving it, but it's far inferior. Polkadot and Cardano, and several other projects, frankly, for that matter, are far superior to Binance Smart Chain as far as just technology goes. But especially Polkadot and Cardano are both very, very superior. So I think when, you know, as the year rolls on, as Polkadot gets parachain projects in production, and then obviously Cardano Alonzo hard fork goes live, that's going to suck the life out of the excitement around Binance Smart Chain. The other thing too is there's like today, loopring.io. Let's go to the exchange. This should be .io. Exchange.loopring.io. Today, with you know, Loopring, which is a layer 2 ZK rollup style of layer 2 scaling solution, ZK rollup, and an exchange all built into one. There's a lot of advantages to ZK rollups. The main advantages are they're very fast for transactions related to you know, trading coins or, you know, account balances. So it's almost instant finality on account balance exchanges, and it's almost completely free because it's the way it works. So the exchange, the Loopring exchange, this is the Loopring exchange live, right? So I could come in here, connect, all I gotta do is connect an external wallet. What's great is that you hold your own keys too. You don't have to put your coins on an exchange. You just connect your wallet to the exchange. But I was looking at wrap Bitcoin USDT. Right, so here's trading wrap Bitcoin with USDT against, you know, Tether. This is trading a derivative of Bitcoin against a stablecoin on Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution almost instantly with almost no transaction fees. And they've got some work to do to build this out, but projects like this as well, I think you're going to put a big dip. This is totally decentralized. This is a complete. It's running. It uses the one of the benefits of a ZK rollup is that you get the full benefit of the layer 1 security. So Ethereum security is also far superior. Binance Smart Chain has sacrificed security and decentralization for a little bit of performance. And so this layer 2 scaling solution, this ZK rollup, you get the full security of the layer 1 solution of the Ethereum layer 1 network, which again is much larger and much more secure than Binance's network, and you get almost instant finality, you know, in an exchange here. So it's limited, obviously. You only have limited things you can trade right now, but this is a work in progress that's coming along, and So this type of thing, I think, is also going to put, so between Polkadot and Cardano coming online, and then the buzz around the Coinbase IPO is eventually going to fade. And then on top of that, these layer 2 decentralized exchange, and then Uniswap v3 also has a lot of improvements. And as Ethereum gets layer 2 scaling solutions that help out with the gas fees, there's going to be a lot of, let me go back to my, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to really hit Binance, BNB's excitement around that. So, wow, I've got spammers in my live chat. That's cool. Oh my goodness, Jared King asked earlier to take a quick look at Loopring. It is my 5th or 6th largest bag now, by the way. I've got a pretty, you know, relative, this late in the game, having built a position kind of like later in the cycle, it's a really big position for me. And it's going to break out pretty big here, I think. This is Loopring Bitcoin. Now, I will, in all seriousness, I started building my position over here, so I'm definitely underwater. It was a spot position, but it was a long-term hold. Like, I had planned to buy this hold to the end of the cycle, so I'm a little bit underwater. So that's, truth be told, I think I did add, as we came in somewhere over here, I've added. I would be lying if I told you exactly where in here I added, but I've added since then. So yeah, I like Loopring to break out here too pretty soon. I mean, it's a really good project. It's way underrated, like vastly underrated, way big, vastly underrated. Now Matic is superior. Polygon, with all the stuff that they're doing after rebranding to Polygon, all the different things they're planning to do, because they're going to do ZK rollups too within Polygon. But you know, as of today, right now, as far as exchanges go, Loopring is the best layer 2 scaling exchange I think there is, because it's actually working. So yeah, you can see here we had a nice breakout, this level here, coming in to retest that, you know, whatever. Let's look at LRC USD. Yeah, look at that. It's wanting to break out. I was doing some work with it up here, I guess. Now I'm not trading this again. It's just something I stuffed some under my pillow here, and I'm just, you know, waiting to see what happens long term this cycle. You know, I'll obviously be exiting this with the rest of my altcoins in like October, but it looks like it's wanting to break out to me. And again, like I said, you know, it's way underappreciated. Like this is superior to me to Binance Smart Chain all day long. Now BNB, the bigger, you know, obviously Binance, the bigger, it's a different story. But as far as like the decentralized central, you know, the decentralized arm of the Binance exchange, Loopring is superior. All right. Oh my goodness, I got all these questions about all these stuff. Yeah, he's gonna. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin. He might just be taking a little breather before he punches through here, but I'm feeling tonight. I'm really feeling this like break down to here or something. Tomorrow we get another move. We'll see what happens. I love Vet. It was one of my. Vet was one of my. I had a video I did about sleepers. So I did a video about, you know, low cap. Sleepers, and Vet really wasn't that, is by far the biggest of the ones I did, but it's been one of the, so the ones I did, the low cap altcoin gems video that I did were VeChain was one of them, and then Engine was another one. Where'd that go? API 3. So here's API 3's chart. Did pretty good. Went from my recommendation was in December. In January, basically. So it's $2, it's $8, and then you had VeChain, which is like blown up pretty good. This is the BTC chart. The other recommendation I had was VXV, which we've been really successfully trading in and out of. Where the heck did it go? VXV versus WETH here. It's so small. This is the only chart that's on. When I first recommended it, there was no chart. But VXV went from 20 cents to $2 and like almost $3. Went from 20 cents when I recommend, 19 cents when I recommended to almost $3. And then what was the last one I recommended? But yeah, so VeChain, Engine. These have all blown up so much. So Engine, VeChain, Vet, and I'm missing one. I don't remember. Oh, API 3. There you go. All right. But yeah, so I like Vet. At this point, it's, you know, I've taken profit. I took profit. The last of it. I'm out of Vet actually right now entirely. I think I didn't even leave any on because what I did is I rotated Vet. I actually just rotated Vet very recently. The rest of my Vet into GRT. This is one of my current recommendations. The graph. So yeah, most of my Vet got rolled into GRT. I think I bought some SNX. Where's that at? Right here. I bought some SNX with that because I think it's looking like it wants to make a move. And I bought, what else did I buy? Maybe Ren, maybe. No, I didn't buy any Ren. I probably bought some more API 3 or something. I don't know. I forget. Whatever. I rotated, so I sold out of Vet and I rotated. I'll wait for a dip and I'll try to buy the dip again on Vet. I sold coming into this exact resistance right here. That was my sell. It was 236 Satoshis. Proudly bag holding ADA at 144. Well, hold it. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. At 144. So you bought at 144 terminal sandwich? Yeah, let's see up here. 144. Good thing is it's going to bail you out. You kind of bought, you know, I guess this, if you bought in the second spike, you could have gotten faked out here. I mean, it did look like it might have been a, you know, breakout coming. So, but it just consolidated after that. So yeah, I think you're just fine. Hang on to it. All right, ADA is great though. When would you say is the best to get out of alts, hodl position, broad brush strokes, tuning past alt cycles? Yeah, I think in the next month. So basically, whenever Bitcoin breaks out of this that we're in right now, all the altcoins are going to run. And then whenever Bitcoin consolidates next, that's probably where they're going to top out when Bitcoin starts to consolidate. Then Bitcoin's going to make another impulse up. The alts are going to bleed versus Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin's going to get rejected hard. So probably what's going to happen, the most likely scenario, this is I'm talking probabilities, not certainties, right? I clearly don't know. I don't have any sort of ability to predict the future. My prediction is we flits around here, finally break out hard, like hard, and it's like going to be a huge move when we break out, mid 70s, high 70s, and then we're going to consolidate. When this happens, the alts are going to go flipping bananas, and that's the last of their monster move. Bitcoin's going to lift them all up with them, but as soon as he consolidates up here at this next level, that's when they're all going to move big. And then Bitcoin's going to break out of this consolidation, and the alts will lose a little bit of steam versus Bitcoin, but not too bad. But, you know, they'll still be, versus USD, they'll still all be going up with Bitcoin, but they're going to be losing a little bit versus USD. And then Bitcoin's going to hit this and it's smack down hard. And you're going to have, like, bad sell-off back to somewhere right around where we're at right now. Somewhere between the support we're putting in now and maybe we might find support at whatever level we put in here. I would bet we wick down to near where we're at right now. That's my total guess. Most likely scenario, something like that, right? So I guess it's probably more likely that we get, you know, we wick down from the mid-90s to like the mid-60s. There's a gap. So the CME gap, here's the thing to keep in mind. These CME gaps, shorts are going to look for these to be filled all day long, and they're going to get burnt. So what's going to happen is these are not going to fill. That's absolutely what's going to happen. So the big thing right now, this is probably why actually a wick down overnight probably ain't going to happen. Or, you know, with the CMEs open, when CME is open, it's probably not going to wick down below it. Now, what CME is not trading right now, right? So it still might be a gap, but anyway, these gaps will probably maintain. So again, you'll have this big impulse up, there's some consolidation, another breakout, and then a really bad rejection. And you're going to have shorts that are just waiting, and they're going to be piling in, waiting for this to close, and it's not going to, and it's going to rip right back in their face. Um, so that's a good buy zone right above those CME gaps. It's going to be a really good buy zone. So if we put another gap in, so say we have a really strong breakout and put another gap in over here even, you might actually find support above that gap. I doubt it. I think these two gaps are going to be more than sufficient to fake shorts out. But yeah, I mean, people are going to learn not to try to play the gaps on crypto, because crypto trades 24/7, and there's just way too many gaps in this chart. Like they're just never going to get filled. I mean, how many people were waiting for this one to get filled and they got burned, right? I mean, it just happened. Everybody's waiting for this gap to be filled right here, and they got burned. And then over here's another gap. Where'd it go? Right there. No, that's not the one. The $10,000 gap. No, hold on. Sorry guys. 1 second. I'll find it. Right there. Finally found it. A little bitty gap. There's a bunch of these gaps, but big moves tend to happen. I can't find it clearly. Sorry. It's right around 10,000. That's all I know. Somewhere over here there's a gap. I don't know where the heck it is anymore. Is that it right? That's it right there. Is it way up here at 17? I thought there was another one at 10. Whatever. I don't know if it's a gap or not. Eventually people are going to learn not to quit messing with these though, because there's just way too many of them. They're never going to get filled. H-bar. I was doing a bunch of, I probably spent, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours reading up on H-bar and just trying to get to the bottom of it, and I just still don't have a good feeling about it. I don't know what it is. I don't like, ever since I got personally burned by IOTA and the graph technology plays, I mean, and it's not like IOTA burned me that bad, but it's just, that was one of the few that I was holding a coin when it got hacked, right? And it was pretty bad, and it was like very scary to be holding it in a bag at all. Like, oh, what's going to happen? Am I going to lose all my? But ever since then, I've just been real cautious about graph-based ledgers. And that's what H-bar is, right? It's a graph-based ledger. It's consolidating, though, clearly. It's H-bar USD. It's moved so much. I said this. I think people are asking me all about this. I don't know where it was. I said it's probably going to consolidate a lot. It's probably down here, and I probably misspoke. But, it's consolidating here, clearly. At this point, I'd give it some more time. Because you need another round of hype cycle break out of this. You'll probably break out over here somewhere 3/4 of the way down, whatever this consolidation pattern is. That's like late May. Yeah, so I'd be looking for a breakdown or breakout in late May. It could obviously break out way before then, right? It's crypto. I'm not saying it can't. Just likelihood this one's probably done for a while. And it's a graph based. It's got a lot of big name backers, but it's a bit of a scary play, honestly. I can't research them enough. There's just so many unanswered questions with how the graph-based things are actually going to work for so many scenarios that I can't get my good, solid answer for. So I just stay away. I'm just staying away from them for now until I understand them. I mean, like I read the Cardano, some of the Cardano papers, and like within a couple hours, like, yeah, I totally get this. This is totally awesome. So I felt a lot better about stuff like that. All right. Wolf, it's not one I missed. I mean, I knew all about it. I've heard all about it. I've been watching it for forever. It's not one I had a trade on or I didn't own any at that time. But there's going to be some that you just miss out on. You can't own everything that breaks out in crypto. I would rather own less, and the ones that I own are all winners. And not have my investments spread across 50 different coins with 2 or 3 big winners and a bunch of losers, right? I'd rather ride 10 or 12 projects that I know are going to be strong and I have really solid returns from than have 50 and have 4 or 5 that are, these like really small cap ones that are doing good. So it's just the way I play it for me personally. So yeah, I don't think that I missed it. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up here soon. Have you seen Hard Protocol? All right. Please explain the CME gap and what orders don't get filled. So the CME gap is simply when the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is not open, right? So Bitcoin trades, these futures contracts trade during the CME hours, right? When the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is open. When it's not open, Bitcoin continues to trade and the futures don't trade. And so what happens is overnight, so from on the 24th of December here, Bitcoin closing price was right on 23.7, and then over the weekend we went all the way up to 26.680, right? So we closed Friday at 23.795 and then opened Monday morning at 26.680. So the gap that left over the weekend never got closed. It means that price never came back down to one of these prices prior. And so that's just a gap in the futures chart. Now, again, Bitcoin, they just don't matter. Bitcoin futures gaps just don't matter. People try to trade the gaps. Gaps in general, I've learned, don't matter. I used to try to trade the gaps myself, and I got burnt a bunch. And I figured out they just don't matter. There's lots of open gaps and lots of charts. So, if your whole strategy is trying to wait for these things to close, you might get burnt. So there's a bunch of them, and they'll just stay that way. So yeah, Wolf, I think, I would have taken some profits if I was you. It's my opinion. It's not financial advice. Nothing in this video. Dang it, I forgot my disclaimer. Thank you for reminding me. Ban, let's find a ban. Oh, I got it. Hold on. I got one. I got it. Where is my media? My van by the river. I had a Crypto Bone, I think is his Twitter handle. Where's he at? Something like that. Oh, phooey. You guys are gonna... No, what's his profile? Bone holder, that's it. Oh, I gotta find his... Not gonna find it very fast for you guys, but he did a really cool little picture of a van by the river. There it is. There it is. Found it. Yes, there you go. So, this not financial advice. Anything I say here is just my opinion. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. And if you listen to my advice, you'll probably lose all your money, burn it in a dumpster like this, and end up living in a van by the river with some cute puppies. All right, but nonetheless, H-bar, I would have taken some profit myself. But yeah, the technology, I'm not certain is going to work out like everybody thinks it's going to work out. So until I feel comfortable that it is, I'm not going to invest in it. Yeah, holding a lot of H-bar is definitely a gamble. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Yeah, Bitcoin did get rejected at 61K again. It's coming down to 59,142 probably. But again, it's Bitcoin. I don't know that it is. It's just this my gut feeling that we're going to get a wick something down. It's going to shake some people out here. It's people got all enthusiastic. And I called my thing Bitcoin Breakout, and it didn't actually break out. I'm just hoping it would. Yeah, as far as 57,000 is probably a good level to be keeping an eye on. It should recover fast if it does. But the best case scenario, really, that's the worst case scenario, right? So the odds of us wicking all the way down to like 57,125 are probably 10-20% maybe, I'd say. 59,142 is a good 50%, 60% chance that's going to happen. But the best case scenario is that we get this, and then break out here. So you see here, you got a pattern forming, obviously, kind of, sort of. These tend to break out about 70% along the way, and that's the best type of breakout. So that right now, we are like 50% of the way here. 70% would put us over on April 14th. on the 4-hour chart. It'll be Wednesday. So the biggest and most likely scenario of a breaking out of this little bit of ascending pennant that we got going on here is to break out about the 14th. It'll be probably a little bit bigger breakout than breaking out tonight. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Oh, Solana, I need to talk about it some other time. I'll try to put in an update video. Let's look at the moving averages real fast. Oh yeah, we got our pi cycle cross, didn't we? Moving averages, we got 55K at the 50-day, 43.8 at the 120-day. If we get below the 50-day ever, by the way, I'll be getting really light and I'll be looking to buy back at the 120 myself. And then if I switch one of these to the 20-day real fast. Yeah, it's a good level to look for at this stage. All right. Enough talking. I gotta go to bed. Good night, everybody.